So I have basically been doing this for a while, and I think this is a pretty good example of how enemy AI in this game, especially like nighttime, is it is so aggressive that it is willing to break rules in the game, cheating essentially, to get to the player, because that's how aggressive the nighttime enemies are. They will literally break rules to get to the player. Now, I'm level 21 legendary right now. And while this is a funny way to farm volatiles, what's not funny is when you have a player out there in the middle of the night and they're trying to do something like, what was it, the Baba mission, where you go looking for the bolter at night, right? Now, I've done that mission a few times, so I kind of have a general idea of what to look for and where to go, right? But for someone who, hang on, even with the volume turned down, that screaming is like right in my ear. But you have a low level player. All right, here's a setup. Traveling through Villador at night is arguably, if as long as you stay moving, you'll be all right. Right? You'll be all right. It's when you have to stop and investigate things. Like again, turning back to the bolter that you have to look for. I know where to go. I know what I'm looking for, and it was pretty easy to track down the bolter with this version of nighttime in Dying Light 2. But for someone who's not used to that mission, not sure what to look for or where to go, or if they're easily distracted by distractions, they can totally get turned around and it will be an impossible mission for them to do. Traveling through this world is not hard to do at night. It's not. It's the part where you have to stop and you have to look on the ground and you have to follow footsteps here and there. And you've got everything within a 2-block radius of you, knowing where you are, coming to you, and trying to crawl straight up your butt and die a second time. Now, that makes it not challenging, but annoying, right? The nighttime in the original Dying Light was pretty scary, and it still is. All right, it's still the king of nighttime scary. This game here tries to mimic that by making the nighttime annoying to where the average player would rather skip certain side missions, which I'd wager quite a few are, and they're just not saying anything because they don't want to get made fun of. Or maybe they just don't want to get into an argument with some random dude online about the nighttime in Dying Light too. But you don't have to, honey. All right. Some of you all that are avoiding missions from Baba and a few other side missions because it's almost impossible to do. Uh, It's impossible to do, period, without getting harassed no matter what you do. I see it. I totally see it. The aggression of this game is so bad that enemies will literally come spilling over these walls to get to the player, completely ignoring any rules that the game has set up about boundaries, because this game has got a bad habit of cheating when it comes to confronting the player, and they've never fixed that, right? So yeah. So you have you have enemy AI that not only cheats to get to you, but now at night it's hyper aggressive, too aggressive. Now, I don't particularly mind the nighttime as it is. It doesn't bother me. It does get annoying, like really annoying sometimes when I'm trying to do something and I'm trying to see where I'm going. That is annoying. But I'm kind of used to it. But for the average player who still hasn't even gotten into the legendary tier yet, I think that once you this is what they should do in my opinion. Okay. So, if you're still working on your pilgrim skills, right? I think nighttime should go back to what it was before the good night, good luck patch. Okay? This right here, while people are working on their Aiden character in their pilgrim tree, I think it should pre good night, good luck, right? And then once you hit your legendary levels, that's when the nights should become more challenging. the task of doing things should become more, uh, you know, seat of your pants sort of craziness. That's fine. But yeah, I yeah, that's awful when they're coming over that wall, and that's just a small. That's like the small example of how this game cheats to try to get to the player. Unfortunately, in this scenario, for the game, it was sending volatiles over the walls at me, and I was just farming them. So I mean, there you go. If you want a funny way to farm volatiles, it's easy. It really is. I would keep to this wall right here, this part of the wall. They're less likely to climb back over to safety. They'll just get stuck and then they'll die, and then you just loot them. But yeah, I really do think they need to tone down the aggression of the game's enemies a little bit. That would keep stuff like this from happening. Because as it stands, the aggression level of enemies at night is so high, it's goofy. It's not just annoying, it's frickin' goofy, right? So, anyway, that's all I got for now. You all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will catch you on the flip side.